Welcome back to Arise Prime Time, where we offer perspectives on the news and talking points of the day. I'm Charles Enyegolu. Now, as you might have heard, a non-partisan mega rally is due to take place this weekend in Abuja, organised by the coalition of FCT support groups. It's another youth event aimed at inspiring young people to help shape their country for the better in 2023 and to protect their future. As the political parties gear up for the start of the campaign season next week, the organisers of the rally, who say they expect a large turnout, want to maintain pressure on the parties to put democracy and the issues that matter to the youth at the front burner. No longer will the young people of this country just stand aside and look, and they're being supported at this weekend's rally by a number of well-known celebrities. One of them is, of course, the popular entertainer and activist Charlyboy, who has always supported the youth in this country and is helping to focus their energy on politics ahead of 2023. And he joins me in the studio, along with one of the organizers of the mega rally event, Dr. Moses Ogidi Paul, who heads the coalition of FCT support groups. Thank you very much indeed to both of you for joining us. And let me come to you first, Charlyboy. In a sense, all this growing youth awareness and the channeling of all that restless energy, that's a major advance for the kind of work that you've been doing for years, trying to inspire young people to become more politically active.
I am particularly quite happy to see what's happening in our space at this time, because I know how it used to be 5 years ago. But I see this sudden surge, okay, this momentum, if you may, young people coming to the realization that they will never have a future in this country unless they take part in the politics.
They can't matter which party they support.
They can't leave politics for just the politicians. They must be actively involved. And I like what's playing out, and that is why there's a need to channel this anger, to channel this frustration, so it doesn't explode in our face.
And it doesn't dissipate as well.
Precisely, you know. And the government should really be paying people like me to calm tempers down, okay? Because we're coming to a point where, except the message is clear, because it's about youth citizenship, it's about good governance, okay? It doesn't really matter who becomes it. But, you know, I mean, enough of the blame game, because we, from the youth perspective, we have our blames too, okay? Because we've been docile, we've been so unconcerned.
Apathetic.
Yeah, precisely. And if you have a system where my thief is better than your thief, and we have not agreed that a thief is a thief and should be punished for stealing, then it becomes a bigger problem. So tomorrow is to have that clarification, what we're doing. We're nobody's spokesman per se. We're there to guide the youths. And you know, if it has to do with young people, that's where you find me. We're here to guide the youths aright, to say that let nobody fool you that you can't do it. Don't think you're a lone voice in the wilderness. This is my permutation, Charles. We have a country of about 250 million, right? Now, out of this 250 million, yeah, a small percentage, 0.00, probably 0.003%, are the people, the handlers, who are pressing on our neck, who are causing this disruption in the system. And my job as an area father, if I can only find 0.001% of young people to come together, because there's never going to be any time everybody's going to be on the same page. And considering that we have 80% of this 250 million as young people, then we can get cracking and we can do something.
Well, that's a very interesting, very inspiring opening line. And let me come to you, Dr. Paul, because you are, I mean, he's providing inspiration and support, but you've got the headache of organizing this and
a big headache at that, Charles.
and getting all these people out there. I mean, you're calling it a mega million march. I mean, that word million has been bandied around quite a bit.
Yeah.
But in any case, what you're trying to do is a political rally of sorts aimed at rallying the troops of the youth brigade, if you like, to channel their energy towards the ballot box. What's your assessment of how it's going to turn out tomorrow?
Oh no, tomorrow is going to be, I mean, it's going to be massive, just like the name suggests. You can see there's so much pressure on my shoulder from all over the...
But hopefully you're not alone. I mean, you've got lots of other people. You've got a coalition.
There's a coalition of people who are helping out, you know. But because of the anticipation, because of the you know, the power, the energy, the passion from all over the place, even outside the Abuja geographical location, people are already coming in for this because they're excited. And for me, it speaks of evolution, you know, where Nigeria is beginning to mature in a way, you know, and that's exciting. So that energy also keeps me going, you know, and we're finding people of all classes, all ages, you know, the old women, the children, you know, people of different tribes and tongues and religion, all coming together with so much excitement. And also, you know, the objectivity, you know, the decisiveness and the fearlessness. I mean, it's so palpable and exciting, you know. This is the best time to be alive in Nigeria. I mean, I'm not that young, so I've seen, you know, quite a bit. And now I've been to a couple of African countries, home and abroad. And to see this in our lifetime is something quite exciting. So I'm really still all awake just for tomorrow.
Right. So would you say that you're on the cusp, following up on what he said, of I don't want to use the word revolution because it sounds violent and sort of
There can be a peaceful revolution.
Yeah, but it sounds
like that.
Let's just call it
but
dramatic change.
Yeah.
You feel that this country is on the cusp.
Listen, Charles, something is happening and we all can feel it. And I dare say that I will be pleasantly surprised myself, even being at the forefront of this struggle, knowing all the nuances and stuff like that. I should be pleasantly surprised because I've never seen what has been playing out in recent time ever in my life in this country. Never. And I thank God that it's happening, Charles, while I'm still alive. So my effort for the past 40 years ought to worth something.
And obviously, Dr. Paul, to attract people beyond the central message of raising political awareness, you need the support of, you know, important people that the youth can relate to, celebrities and the like. You've already got Charlyboy. I mean, who else are you expecting to attend?
I mean, we have a lot of activists and also thought leaders. You know, I know that my friend Diki Chukwumerije will be there. We have a lot of comedians, Abdul, the Oracle will be there, you know, and Nana Kazore. Several people, you know, I've called in Professor Chris, you know, so many people coming in, you know, home and abroad. So, yeah, it's shocking to know that some even flew in from Lagos just because they want to participate in this. Nollywood stars and, you know, musicians, you know, from the northern part of the country, and they're all coming in tomorrow.
And
so
it's non-partisan.
it's non-partisan. You know, the message is very clear. It's about an activation of getting, you know, the young people, you know, to become politically active, you know, and to
irrespective of who they support.
Yes,
Yeah.
you know, and to begin to depart from the, you know, the narrative of insult and parochialism that we are seeing, to really stay focused, you know, on what we call the issue-based, you know, discussions, you know. So that's what all of this is.
Right. Okay. I'm going to come to you in a minute, Charlyboy, but let me just get you to get the technical bits out of the way. What time does it start, and how is it going to progress through the day?
The rendezvous will begin at, there are two symbolic platforms within the FCT. The Unity Fountain, you know, it's built to represent all the states, all
which
the
is
tribes,
just around the corner from where we are.
Yes, so that's the starting point, that's the rallying point. And of course, all the security apparatus, they're all been informed, they're all going to, the police is going to be there, the DSS is going to be there, the road safety, they're all going to be there to be part of the procession, which is going to lead up until the city gate.
So it's actually more of a march.
It's a march,
But then it'll culminate in a rally.
yes, at the city gate, where we're going to have, you know, it's going to be a concert, it's going to be speeches, it's going to be, we have lots of poets, you know, in the city who are going to be performing, you know, and all of that. And all of that is going to be happening right there, you know, to motivate, to inspire, to keep the fire of the youth
in
going.
addition to what you just said, you know, we're basically using creativity, music, comedy, dance, you know, which young people like, to bring them
Yes,
together
absolutely.
so we can give them the
There's a
message.
jolly atmosphere.
Precisely.
Right. And what are you going to be doing at that event, Charlyboy? I mean,
Me?
you're in many ways like the man behind the soundtrack to the youth's sort of political awakening.
I wouldn't be doing much, Charlie.
You're going to be sitting on a grand,
I wouldn't be doing
big
much
chair,
when I have
lifted by sort of
no, not that kind of imagery, but I won't be doing much, and for the simple reason. Listen, in my lifetime, I've met exceptional, outstanding youths of this country. And that is why I've always maintained that the salvation of this country, or this contraption called Nigeria, lies in the hands of its exceptional people. Now, I'm only there to escort them to the show. I'm only there to make sure that nobody's getting out of line, that we're sticking to the program, sticking to the narrative, because I can beat my chest today and say to you, Charles, that I've met outstanding youths in this country that I've learned from, that have inspired me myself. Because whoever is the ginger has to even get some ginger. And these are the young people still keeping me youthful and alive till tomorrow. So my job when I get there, knowing that I'm surrounded by exceptional people, is to just sit down and see what they've been able to put together as a team.
Yeah, it sounds very interesting. I'm wondering whether I should avoid wherever you guys are going to be tomorrow.
You should come and take a
the
picture.
traffic jam is going to be exceptional.
But it's going to be
isn't it?
fun.
It's going to be fun. It's,
It's
going to
gonna
be
be
exciting.
fun,
I
Charlie.
mean, 9 a.m. in the morning, about 9:30, the procession begins, and we're really going to keep it really hot and spicy, and you know.
Right, and you heard Charlyboy there, of course, talking about the amount of time and energy that he's devoted over the years. He talked about 4 decades of activism to get to this point. How far are you going to take your campaign for good governance, youth enlightenment, etc.? I mean, I'm assuming that this is going to continue through the campaign period of this 2023 election, this process of sensitization. So it's not just a one-off. It's going to be something that you're doing sort of throughout the period. Is that?
I mean, for me, it's going to be for the rest of my life. And I'm recruiting people because one of the things that that is lacking especially in Nigeria, is this apathy. And I'm saying it here, regardless of who becomes Nigeria's president, it's important for the youth to understand that we are evolving. We're actually moving forward, because Nigeria can never be the same again. So regardless of who gets there, it's important to continue, to sharpen the resolve of where we're going to. Because we've already moved, and so this activism, this good governance, work is never going to stop. We keep building a step a day, and we keep expanding, because what is going to happen is that at the end of the day, the day we get people into governance who are like this objective, fearless, decisive young people, then the crack in the door is open for more people like them to get into governance. And it's not going to happen in a day. It's going to take a lot of time, but it's important to let the young people know that regardless, we've already won. We've already moved forward. We're never going to be the same. And guess what, Charles? Whoever becomes Nigeria's president is going to be sitting on a hot seat, because the consciousness of the average Nigerian are already raised. The demand side, which was docile, is now very active. Is asking for capacity. Is asking for transparency. Is asking for leadership in the true sense of leadership.
But I mean, Charlyboy, I'm sure over the years, I mean, because you've followed this for quite some time, that a lot of things in this country are always anticlimactic. It's never a climax. It kind of almost gets to the crest of the hill, and then it kind of rolls back. You see what I mean?
You're talking about.
Yeah.
But you see.
But you don't think that's the case this time?
No, that's why I said I'm hoping to be pleasantly surprised.
Well, the point is that if sorry to interrupt you, but if the wrong candidate gets in, as we've seen over the years in this country at all levels, I mean, if the wrong candidate gets in, there's not much that the kids can do about it, is there? They'll just go back to their, to their lives, and things will continue.
Different. You remember when we were doing the sensitization tour, Mumu and Mumu Don't Do, yeah? After that came Now We, the government. And that was to speak directly again to young people, for them to understand that the people in the government houses, in the presidential mansions, are servants and not masters. That was a bit of a doing. But with what's playing out in the now, I think they're beginning to get the message. So it behoves them to make the right kind of decision. Because like I always say also, if you've been bequeathed with a bad deal, it's your life. It's your life, really. So it behoves you to make it good. I've seen people from nowhere, from the slums, pull themselves together and make a success out of their lives. Because we're all guilty in our own little ways. But the battle, this battle, is for young people.
Yeah, absolutely. And
it's for the young people. And I think something nice is happening.
Right. And are you expecting this to be a peaceful occasion? Because, I mean, are you seeing signs that events like this are signaling that there is greater freedom of expression in Nigeria? Less clashes with the security agencies and all the rest of it?
It's part of what we have done. Like, so much work is gone into this, even with the security agencies, for them to understand that this march, this war, this activism is also for them. And once you can paint the picture clearly for them to see and understand, they will work with you. And this is the role we are playing, to come and make, the purpose very clear. Oftentimes when people do not have or are not able to explain, to the people on the streets, the meaning, the reason behind all of this, that's where we always have problem.
Yeah, but it's different for you sitting in a studio and having a fairly civilized discussion. I mean, when you go out there, and I'm sure Charlyboy can testify to at least some of this, when you go out there and you feel the mass of people and the anger of people being fired up by speakers and all that sort of thing, take your rights back and your people back. And the fact is that they've allowed the politicians and the government to sit heavily on their shoulders for a very long time. So heavily, in fact, that they're now starting to stoop instead of standing upright. And all because they've remained politically apathetic. You see what I mean? And so that sense of this extraordinary burst of energy and anger could easily explode on the streets, couldn't it?
Yeah, it could easily explode, I agree. But when I look back over the years, Charles, I've had a crowd of thousands and thousands of people. Until the Mumu don't do recently, there's never been one incident. Nobody comes and messes up on my parade. This is the area father calling the youths of this country. I'm not a violent person, and I will never advocate for that. You can't come on that program and mess up. Area father will not tolerate that. And that is why we've decided to make it as fun, what the young people like, as fun, as creative, as entertaining. Because we're not going to go and fight a war. We're going to go and talk to ourselves so we can inspire the people who know. Will talk to the people who are yet to know, who are yet to come to the light. You see, so like I said, taking it from my history personally, and from all the talking I've been doing, both to the security people, both to the kids, all the different groups, he hasn't slept in 3 days. I don't know when I slept last. But you see, I'm on a high because I love what is playing out.
Right.
And I love the fact that the young people, the people I've interacted with, are getting the message. And you dare not come to this rally tomorrow and think you can say anything. It's not about, the candidate of your choice is the candidate of your choice. We don't have a problem with that.
Right.
It's for you to understand that the office of the citizen is more important than the office of our handlers.
And on that note, I want to say thank you very much indeed, Charlyboy, and of course, thank you very much indeed, Dr. Moses Paul, who heads the coalition of FCT support groups. Thank you very much. I have to go because there's another.
Every time I come here, you never as much as say, take a bottle of water.
Okay,
something.
well, I'll get you a bottle of water after this.
Is it going to be different?
But it'll be outside the studio rather than in here because we've got another program coming up.
Okay.
But thank you so much
Thank you for having us.
Abiding with us. That's it for this edition of Arise Primetime. Join us again next week from me and the entire team here in Abuja and Lagos. Bye-bye, and thank you for watching.